So in case you were wondering from last time, if I was to carve my name in this tree and come back 10 years later, it would be in the exact same spot, because trees grow from the top, not from the middles. Colorado! In all seriousness though, that was the only sign I was able to find for Colorado. Usually when you come into the state, they have these enormous elaborate signs that are just like, "Welcome to colorful Colorado."
I think it's like a 10-day exercise and sleep deprivation.
Yes, and community living.
Yeah.
People
Like,
never...
See you next time! So I'm pushing my bike up that psychotic hill after Brush Mountain Lodge. And damn, it's just like Lava Mountain. Rocky, steep, and really loose. But this time I've learned this extra strap, and I decided to leash it to my seat post and around my waist, and it's making this a breeze. Oh shit. This is worth it. So I'm up at the top at what appears to be the Watershed Divide, but I'm not too sure because there's still a trail that goes up to the left, up the pass a little more, and then another trail that goes down to the right. And the map says that it's a right down the hill, but I'm not too sure because sometimes these mileage aren't exactly accurate. So what I do is I often look at the ground to see which direction the bicycle tracks go. And usually that indicates the direction that I'm supposed to go because they're often laid down by other divide riders. So I'm looking around and I see what appears to be a track, but then when I look closer, check this out. An arrow. I am almost positive that I go this way. Here's my super official solar eclipse monitoring station with high-tech filtering. Oh, it's starting. Oh, this is sick. And I'm still taking manual photos with this setup every second I can. Hopefully it'll stitch together into something nice. If not, I have a few good pictures. I have my Sony over there doing a time lapse too, so you can see the darkness shift. So awesome. Really wish I was in the total path of totality. This is badass. Yeah, now that we're about half to 2/3 of the way uncovered now, it's starting to get noticeably warmer again after getting actually pretty cold for a little bit. One thing I've noticed, though, is that you must really have to be in a total solar eclipse for it to get really dark, because it got a little darker and colder mostly, but not that much. Yeah, it definitely really wasn't cool enough to warrant pulling out the Mavic. It just... the landscape didn't change enough, I don't think. After nearly 1 month of traveling with Dave, we finally said goodbye today. So we we ended up saying our goodbyes in Steamboat Springs. Dave is staying there for a few more days as his wife is actually flying out to meet him and explore the town a little bit. And man, tell you what guys, Steamboat Springs, that place is awesome. There's a bike shop on every corner. There are small cafes, fancy restaurants, kind of niche shopping. Really unique little town. It was kind of like the first town you come into when you hit Colorado, and then from there on you just kind of jog between Ski Town and Ski Town, Breckenridge, Silverthorne, Dillon, Salida. But I also have plans to meet up with my dad finally in the next 2 to 3 days near Silverthorne. He's actually starting out today on a 90-mile jog along the I-70 bike path. Oop. Had to shift gears. From Glenwood Springs. So he has like 2 or 3 days to himself to kind of get used to the riding and everything before we finally run into each other. But for now, it's just me traveling by myself with Coco until we hit Silverthorne. For the next couple days, I'll be transitioning kind of more uphill and generally climbing out of the foothills into the greater mountains of the Colorado Rockies. And truthfully, like, I really don't mind the climbing here because these landscapes are just so beautiful. If it just wasn't for it's shaking the poo out of me! And this guy even stopped and gave me a peach. No, I'm not so mad about the washboard. My trail just ended in this river and it goes right along my path. So I'm going to have to ford it. And since I don't know what it's called, I'm just going to randomly call it the Harrison River. And so this is the Harrison River Ford. So apparently it's called the Rock Creek, but I think my name for it's a little better. I'm meeting up with my dad today. We've been planning this for months and it's finally happening and it is so exciting. The funny thing is I don't know that he knows that tomorrow is going to be one of the highest climbs of this entire trip, up over 11,500 feet. If that isn't a good introduction to the Great Divide, I don't know what is. Mad props for the name of your shop, man.
At least that part of it.
Not with this. If I had my other lens that broke,
Oh, yeah.
I could. Now this is how a bathroom should be laid out. Gender, non-denominational, individual stalls, and then you have the sink on the outside. Good job. So here in Silverthorne marks a amazing day and a big step in the tour. Not only does it mark the end of map 3 and the beginning of map 4, but for the rest of this I'm going to be cycling with my dad, who met up with me last night, and we're going to be cruising down to Mexico together. Make a difference day. Sweet.
What did you just say?
Bike up.
Bike up.
Yep, same with cars, car back, car up. that isn't a good, if that isn't a good introduction to the Tour Divide, if that isn't a good, if that isn't a good introduction to the Great Divide, I don't know what is.